Falkentrick, welcome back everybody to the post game as the Springboks arise victorious 45-0 in front of, man, I know we don't get a lot of games in Port Elizabeth, Habirka, but damn, that crowd really brought it. 44,000 plus fans there. Beautiful crowd. 100th cap for Ville LaRue. Obviously, Sia comes out with the Webb Ellis Cup beginning of the game. Let's get into this one, man, because there's a lot to unwrap with this one. We'll kind of go through the notes that I kept and then kind of say a few things after that. Very first minute of the game, penalty on Italy. We call for the scrum, and they actually draw the penalty. Italy gets a penalty, draws the scrum penalty on the Boks in the first minute. Third minute, we're attacking deep. Visa gets a nice deep run. Jesper Visa ends up in Peter Steph DeToy's hands. He is held up, but it also goes back to the TMO, and there was a knock on early on in the play, so it wouldn't have stood anyways. After multiple setups for a scrum, we draw another penalty. Like, the Boks are not used to being the penalized team on the scrums. They're usually the ones making the other team draw the penalty, but it was just not looking that solid early on. After 8th minute, after a scrum advantage for the Boks, Vandermerva deep to Mapipi to Grant Williams. You're not catching Grant Williams. He just needs a little bit of space. Libok is off to the left, so it is 5-0 at the 8th minute. A couple of minutes later, another Bok line out. It leads to the advantage for collapsing the maul on Italy. Libok goes to the corner once again. We get nothing out of it. Libok goes to the corner again. Norkia drops the ball, but Marks picks it up. Another advantage for the Boks. It's at this point that Italy gets called over. Andrew Bass lets them know, like, look, you guys are committing too many penalties. You need to clean up your discipline. 3 minutes later, Vandermerva out wide right gets one on, dots across. It does have to go to the TMO because it looks like maybe his legs were pulled off across the line. It does not happen. It stands, and it is 10-0. Libok does miss off to the left once again. Kind of thinking, are we back to those Libok issues again? 17th minute, Trula, the winger for Italy, goes out injured. Just like I said, discipline in that first half. Discipline on both sides. 3 minutes later, after a line out, Jesper Visa gets into a shoving match. It's back and forth grabbing. It's kind of what you expect sometimes, but then they go to the TMO. And Jasper, you dumb expletive word. You did not need to headbutt that guy. That's a red. That's an automatic red card. Visa's off for the game. We don't get to see him and his brother on the pitch at the same time. Jasper off at the 20th minute. We bring in Esterhuizen. So he is into the scrums. Escom moves to the back of the line to kind of steer everything from the rear. Oxen Shea comes in for Thomas DeToy for some reason. We don't really quite know why, but it's Oxen Shea. You already know what's coming when Oxen Shea comes on. We win a scrum. Esterhuizen chip kicks off to the left. Edwil Vandermerva chases it down and dots it in like deep in the end, but he does dot it down right between in between the posts. Libok does nail it, 1 of 3 kicking on the day, 17-0 at the 30th minute. 33rd minute, Salman Marat with the off the feet penalty. Dare kicks to touch. The line out leads to another Italian penalty. They get nothing out of it. Obviously, they didn't score the whole game, but they had multiple opportunities at line out time, 5 meter line outs, and they got nothing. I tip my hat for not kicking for the 3, like you wanted to score tries, but they just didn't ever have that much of it. But Salman Marat. We'll get to him later if I remember. 36th minute, offside on Italy. Libok kicks to touch, another advantage, and Kanan Moody sees a gap and runs it in. Libok does nail it. He's 2 of 4 on the day so far. It's 24-0. Kanan Moody looked good, but that's what we expect from that young man. Go into halftime score 24-0. Obviously, like I said, discipline in that first half. 44th minute, Andrew Brace goes to a TMO. Vilko Lowe's head contact with Sebastian Negri. It does go to the bunker, but it does stay yellow, thankfully. 3 minutes later, Fischetti gets a yellow after repeated issues. So Andrew Brace went to the pocket an additional time after this, number 21, and I still don't remember what that. I couldn't figure out what that was for. We kicked the touch, advantage for offside after a line out. Villy out wide right to Edville, but the try doesn't stand as it was a forward pass. So Edville van der Merwe could have had a hat trick today, but it didn't stand. 3 minutes later, after repeated phases, the magician himself, Malcolm Marks, does cross at the 50th minute. Libok nails it. 3 of 5 kicking on the day. It's 31-0. Little bit of back and forth. Sasha comes in for Willie at the 59th minute. And it's a lot of back and forth, penalties on both sides, kind of not really anything. Everybody just kind of getting their feet under them. The bomb squad has come on. 72nd minute after a line-out ball ends up out wide to Makazole Mumpipi. I'm hoping to get the horns up, but he doesn't. He just kind of places it on the ground and does his thing. Libok does nail it, 4 of 6 so far. It's 38-0. 79th minute, Italy gets a penalty, hands in the ruck. Libok kicks to the corner, and after a line out, couple of different offloads, Vessels gets it, and he crosses. It does go to the TMO because it's like his body is kind of leaving, going across the deadline. It does stand. Libok does nail the kick, and we have a 45-0 final. So first and foremost, since I said I didn't want to forget it, Salman Murat. Look, I know a lot of people that love that guy, and they see so much in him. I just don't see it. He's had so many opportunities. He's captaining the side. I don't see it. Now, if any of my followers say, hey, go look at this, I get it. If he's the captain, I get it. He has leadership abilities. I've said it before. Sia Khaleesi is not one of the best flankers on the planet. But when you put him out there with the boys, he elevates the team to a higher level. I don't think I see that with Salman Murat. I really don't. Ruan Nordekia, great proper shift that he put on today. But I just don't see it with Salman Murat. I don't see what other people. So if you're a big Salman Murat stan, let me know. Let me know what I'm missing. Because even with the Stormers, I prefer Ruben Van Heerden over him. Because Ruben is a tackling machine. Some other issues, obviously, other than the Jasper Visa thing. Evan Roos, welcome back, man. He had a really good game when he came on. I think there were a lot of question marks around him. I'm pretty sure Edville van der Merwe got man of the match, but Andre Esterhuizen put in a proper shift too. Obviously, doing the flanker duties during the scrums and playing really damn good at center. This was, to me, probably the best game of recent memory that Esterhuizen has played. Really, you remember last year against Portugal. Was it Portugal when he went off early in the game with a red card? He hasn't had a whole lot of full games, but he definitely came in and put a proper shift in today at, playing both sides, playing forward and back. And I thought he did great. I thought Cannon Moody did great. I thought Van der Merwe did great. Grant Williams, full stop. That is our best number 9. Full stop. There's no debate. That is our best number 9 is Grant Williams, period. The creativity that young man has with the ball, having to see Esterhuizen go into the back of rucks to get balls because Grant would carry them. I was very, very impressed. I thought, despite them 2 missed kicks by Manny Libok, he had an amazing game. His distribution, once again, we've said this multiple times about Manny Libok. If you only look at his kicking to posts, you're not going to be happy with everything you see. But the man's creativity with ball in hand, he's just such a magician. He makes so many good decisions distributing the ball. Villy LaRue had some bright flashes, but then there was an issue where he came under the high ball and he should have gotten rid of it, but he tried to carry it forward. And it's you're not going to do that, Villy. You're not that guy anymore. Sasha came in and replaced him later in the game. I've said it before, having Sasha and Manny on the pitch at the same time is a good thing because they're both so creative with the ball and they can both do so many things with the ball. And I'm happy that even once Sasha came on, they still let Manny kick because he didn't miss a single kick after he missed those first 2. And 45-0. It would have made, it would have been 49-0. I'm not mad, and we've had this before in the past where we've done really well and Sasha has struggled with kicking. You don't care when you've done well offensively, but there were a lot of issues in this game Discipline being the big one. We cannot pull this kind of crap against an All Blacks because they will eat us alive for it. We can't pull this crap against Argentina. They will eat us alive for it. Being able to do it against Italy, yeah, it's a luxury that we have because we are that much better than Italy. Um, some guys, obviously, Labacania getting his first official cap. Ethan Hooker came out. He had some bright little flashes as well. I want to see a bit more of him with it. I do definitely think Labacania needs to be a regular on this roster, as well as Vincent Shatuka. Edville Van der Merwe needs to get more than one cap a year. That guy needs to be kind of our third choice. We have a third and fourth choice in him and Makazole Mpipi, and we have Ethan Hooker now. So it's like, obviously, it's Kirtley and Cheslin are our A team. But I was happy with what I saw from some of the youngsters. Obviously, Escom finally, to me, he's been a bit underwhelming, undershowing, but he actually did pretty damn well today. I thought Escom did great. I thought Peter Steph DeToy looked great, as always. Malcolm Marks, obviously the magician himself. He is our number one hooker. You've got to love him out there on the field. Jan Hendrik Vessels didn't do too bad when he came in either. The only big complaint I had was discipline. Obviously, Jasper, that was absolutely uncalled for. It made me recall back to a game, I don't know if it was 2 years ago. We were playing the All Blacks and he absolutely folded Aaron Smith after the whistle had blown. You kind of just like, come on, man, don't be a hothead. And I mean, I know he's young. You're not going to be Dwayne Vermeulen-esque overnight. But after what I saw today, man, I cannot wait for Cameron Hennecom to get fit. Because that is our best choice at 8 is Cameron Hennecom by far. If he does end up getting some suspension games, which more than likely it will happen because it was a red card for head contact, what do we do at number 8? Do we keep letting Evan Roos do his thing? Do we bring back Sia because he's been playing 8 for the Sharks? You guys let me know what you think in the comment section there, because I just want Hennecom back. That's all I want right now. Just give me Cameron Hennecom back and we're fine. But overall, like I said, do I feel like we played better this week than we did last week? In a lot of ways, yes, but in a lot of ways, no. Our discipline was just terrible this week. You can already see the images of Rassi kind of floating around on social media, his reactions to certain things, and like I'm sure he's going to be busting some ass because it's Rassi, that's what he does. But a win is a win. It's what we expected. We knew we were going to go 2-0 against Italy. We've got Georgia coming up next. We know that's going to be a win. Then we've got Australia for 2 games. We don't really know what's going to happen with that, obviously, with the British and Irish Lions tour going on. And I haven't gotten on here and talked about that a whole lot because, honestly, I don't really care. Even when we had it, I just was happy to see the Springboks play because we were coming out of COVID. I'm not really the biggest fan of the British and Irish Lions tour. And I guess the biggest reason is the 4 nations that make up the British and Irish Lions, they have a combined win rate of 39% over the Southern Hemisphere. The 4 in the Southern Hemisphere, 39%. Now, if you take Argentina out of that group, so it was the Tri-Nations, it slips to 24%. We need to end the charade that somehow Northern Hemisphere rugby is superior to Southern Hemisphere test level rugby because it's a charade. At 39%, you are not dominating anyone south of the equator. Unless it's Tonga or Samoa or Uruguay or Chile or Namibia. We saw Fiji beat Scotland late last night here. I mean, this whole charade that like the British and Irish nations are better than the All Blacks, the Springboks, the Wallabies, and the Pumas. It's a joke. 39% win rate. That's a joke. But they're going to continue to do it as this series goes on. And that's kind of why I think I don't like it more than anything, because it makes them feel like they're somehow superior. And it's like, no, you're not. At 39%, you're not. Take out Argentina at 24%, you're definitely not. That's not even striking distance of 50-50. It's not. So that's why I haven't really talked about it, because it's just it's just a charade. It's where these four nations get to pretend that they're somehow superior to you're not. Like at 39% win rate, you're not. And they say, oh, well, why don't we do one in the South? That's why. because it would not even be close. If we did our own variation of it south of the equator, it wouldn't even be close. Like, we would dominate them every time. It would. That's a fact. At 39% win rate, that proves it. So that's why I'm not really talking about it, not really following it. And I am going to watch, obviously, the test with Australia just to see how Australia is doing. We already know that Lolesio is out, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that all goes. But we definitely need to clean up a lot before the Rugby Championship, because this discipline and then just kind of the lackadaisical defense we saw last week, you're not going to win. You're not going to win a Rugby Championship playing like that. The All Blacks will fucking they'll punish you for it. Obviously, they got the win over France last night. Good on them. You know, a convincing win over really a French B squad. We got wins over an Italy B squad technically too. So, but we'll be back at it next week. Georgia, I love watching Georgia play. Obviously, they lost to the Cheetahs yesterday, I believe. They lost to the Cheetahs at Bloemfontein. They did lose to Ireland last week, which you kind of come to expect. But, it is what it is. We'll enjoy it. It's another win. It's another tally on the charts for the Springboks as we go into 2025. And the goal is to end every week 1-0. And we have done it this week. We ended this week 1-0. Next week will be 1-0. And just going on and going forward as we build momentum, getting ready to defend our title for a third time. So you guys, hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. Hope you had a proper braai. I know it is bloody cold in South Africa. Here, it's like 40. It's hot as shit. It's the peak. It's not even the peak of summer. I think the peak of summer is still 2 or 3 weeks away. Oh, man. I hate the summers here. But I'll see you guys soon. Cheers, guys.